Women never forget a man who does these 5 things. A man walks out of her life. Months pass, maybe even years, and somehow she still thinks about him. Not every day, not with regret, but something about him lingers. His presence, his energy, his decisions. They left a mark. And it's not because he was perfect. It's because he moved differently. Welcome back to Man of Substance. Most women won't admit this out loud, but there are men they simply never forget. Not because they were the best looking or the richest, but because those men made her feel something she hasn't found again. These men didn't try to impress her, beg for her time, or become her emotional servant. They carried themselves in a way that forced her to remember them long after the messages stopped and the connection faded. Here's the wild truth. The men who stick in a woman's memory the longest often aren't the ones who tried the hardest. They're the ones who understood how women's psychology really works. They knew what leaves an imprint. And it's rarely about sweet gestures or over-the-top compliments. It's about the way they held their frame, the way they held back, the way they respected themselves even when emotions ran high. This isn't about playing games. It's about mastering the traits that make you unforgettable, whether things work out or not. So if you're tired of being the guy she forgets as soon as she meets someone new, pay close attention. This will shift the way you show up from this point forward. Let's break it down. 1. He walked away without explaining. One of the most unforgettable moves a man can make is leaving, without turning it into a speech. No begging. No breakdowns. No long emotional texts. Just walking away, clean, firm, and silent. That silence speaks louder than anything you could ever say. And it hits hard for one reason. Most men can't do it. The average guy, when things start falling apart, feels the need to explain himself. He texts long paragraphs hoping she'll understand. He tries to reason, justify, or fix things. But here's the truth. Closure is a luxury most men give women, while robbing themselves of dignity. When you leave without explaining, you create space. And in that space, uncertainty grows. She starts wondering, did he even care? Is he over me? Has he replaced me? That curiosity is what keeps you in her mind, not what you said but what you didn't. When you walk away without justifying yourself, it signals power. It shows you respect yourself enough not to explain your absence. The moment someone starts treating you like you're optional, you stop showing up. And that kind of exit burns itself into her memory. 2. He made her earn his attention. Most men give away attention like it's free. They compliment instantly. They double text. They drop everything to reply in seconds. And they do it without asking, has she earned this? When you give attention too freely, it loses its value. People value what they work for. It's human nature. A man who makes a woman earn his attention isn't playing games, he just has standards. He's intentional. He doesn't overinvest in someone who's not showing genuine interest. He matches her effort instead of overcompensating for low energy. When your attention becomes selective, it becomes valuable. She notices when you engage and when you don't. And the man who makes her step up to earn him is the one she doesn't forget. 3. He stayed calm when she tested him. Every man eventually experiences this. She says something passive-aggressive. She pulls away for no reason. She throws a little emotional curveball. It's not always intentional, but it's always a test. Most men take it personally. They get defensive. They rush to fix it. But when you stay calm, grounded, and unshaken, you communicate strength. You show her that her emotional swings don't control you. Women remember the man who didn't flinch, who didn't match her mood, who stayed solid no matter what came his way. That emotional control is rare. And it's deeply respected. For, he never chased after pulling back. Pulling back can create space and reset the dynamic, but most men ruin it by chasing again too soon. They can't hold the silence. They send just checking in text. They like her post. When you do that, you reveal you weren't truly detached. You were bluffing. But when you pull away and stay away, it sends a different message. You meant it. You won't re-enter a space where you're not valued. It's not coldness, it's self-respect. And that discipline makes you unforgettable. 5. He spoke the truth without sugarcoating. A man who speaks honestly, without twisting his words to please her, stands out. Most men avoid hard truths because they fear losing her. They soften their opinions, dodge uncomfortable conversations, and pretend to be okay with disrespect. But when you speak clearly, calmly, and confidently, even if she doesn't like it, she respects it. Telling the truth doesn't mean being brutal. It means being real. If you see a red flag, you name it. Something bothers you, you say it. Women remember the man who wasn't afraid to speak up, and who didn't dress the truth in sugar just to keep her comfortable. 6. He didn't react to her drama. When emotions run high, most men get pulled in. They argue. They defend. They try to fix everything. But the unforgettable man stays composed. He doesn't reward chaos with attention. He lets her have her moment but doesn't lose his own peace in the process. That kind of steadiness shows you're not controlled by mood swings. And that is rare. 7. He put his mission before her. Women respect a man with direction, a man who has a purpose beyond her. Too many men drop their goals the second a woman shows interest. They make her the center of their world before she's even earned that place. But attraction dies when a man orbits around her instead of his own mission. When you have a clear purpose, whether she's in your life or not, it shows strength. She can join your journey, but she's not leading it. And that makes you unforgettable. Conclusion. The kind of man a woman never forgets isn't always the loudest, the richest, or the most handsome. He's the man who holds his ground, knows who he is, doesn't need her to feel valuable, invites her into a life that already has meaning. If you've been over-explaining, chasing, softening your truth, or putting her ahead of your mission, you're not alone. Most men have. But the more a man fears losing her, the faster she forgets him. That fear shows in your actions, and once she senses it, the dynamic shifts. Flip the script. Hold your frame. Become the man she remembers, not because you begged but because you never had to.